Hey, listen, today we're going to be making a latte, steaming milk using the Breville Bambino Plus. But instead of letting the Bambino make all the decisions, we're going to steam our own manually here on Bean Basics. Oh, hey there. Welcome to Bean Basics with Bob and Michelle. Welcome to sunny Saugatuck, and welcome to the Obis Lab. Hey, listen, today we're still working with the Breville Bambino Plus, and we've shown you straight out of the box how to let the machine make all the decisions on milk steaming, right? We looked at heat levels and air bubbles levels, and just letting the machine do it for you. Today, we're going to take the game up to about an intermediate level. We're going to steam, or we're going to manually steam milk. Now, we're going to bring my friend and super intern back out today again. Carter, why don't you come on out? Because I'm going to show you that anybody can do this, right? And what we're going to do today is just try to make a latte, and a traditional latte should have this color about it and have this band of foam. But if you come in close, you can see we would call those that microfoam, right? It's not big dish soap style bubbles. These are micro bubbles. And these all contribute to the fine taste of a great latte. Now, the one thing to know that when you're steaming milk, of course, is this steam one gets really, really hot. And we need to be careful with that. But we're going to use our senses too, our senses of touch, to get comfortable and to measure the degrees of our particular drink, right? How hot it is. I don't know why that was so difficult for me to say. Sorry about that. But one thing I wanted to show everybody right away is what steam looks like when it comes out of the arm. And the first thing that shoots out, by the way, is just a little bit of water, because if you were steaming earlier, and we were, that would have condensed a little bit. So you can see this steam just shooting out.
That's pretty cool.
And if you have your hand right there, it's not that hot, but the closer you get to the wand, the hotter it gets. Go ahead and put your hand right there.
Oh yeah.
Right? Not that hot. Okay. So I'm going to turn it off. But if we were to touch this right now, it would be super hot. It's steam.
Right.
You know, so you got to be careful. I'm going to put that back down. And when we put that back down, it will sort of purge itself, because it thinks we just steamed milk and it wants to get all that milk out of there.
Right.
Right? Okay. And as soon as that's done, which it is, I'm going to pull this back up again. So when we steam milk, Carter, there's a couple things to know. This tip right here is a big guiding force for when we steam milk, right? So we pour the milk in, but when we insert the steam wand, we want to insert before we turn it on. Okay. And we want it, though, just below the surface. Okay. Right? Not deep, not above, but just below the surface. And what we want is right here at the tip where the steam is coming out to be just at the surface of the milk.
Right.
For the first third.
First third.
Because, what we're doing when we steam milk is we're trying to heat the milk up and we're trying to texturize it. Right. Those are the two things. And the texture comes from these micro bubbles that we produce. And when we put this tip just at the surface of the milk, what happens is air gets drawn in as the steam enters the milk, and that's what creates those little bubbles.
Right.
Okay. So what'll happen, and I'm going to do the first one.
Sure.
And then I'm going to have you come behind me and kind of compete with me.
Oh, no.
Try to outdo me.
Okay.
And we're going to compare our drinks, and we'll compare it against the what do you call this? Not the placebo, but
the gold standard.
The gold standard right there, right? So, and while we're steaming, we're going to have at first our hand on the bottom down here, because that's going to be our temperature sensor, right? And the machine, the temperature sensor is right here. It sort of makes sense for us to hold at the bottom here, but at some point during steaming, it's just too hot to hold on to. Right? And that at that point, we need to remove our hand and just kind of use our judgment. But I think I just got to get in here and do it at this point. What do you think?
I think we go for it.
Okay, right.
All right.
So we're going to use equal amounts of milk. In other words, when you do it, I'm going to give you 200 mils of milk. I'm going to use 200 mils of milk in this. And remember, our objective is to heat this, in the end, we want it to be about 160, but what's going to happen is we're going to turn this off at about 140, and it's going to coast to 160.
Okay.
And above 160, if we heat milk above 160 degrees Fahrenheit, the proteins start breaking down. I don't know if you've ever heard of scalded milk, but it just starts tasting bad. If we keep it under 160 degrees, the milk has this sort of natural sweetness about it. Okay, and that's kind of what we're after. Now we need to get it above 140 because this is a dairy product, and we either need to keep it cold below 45, or we need to get it above 140 to keep it in what's called the food safety zone.
Yep.
Right. So that's what we're after there. This whole process does not take very long. I'm gonna have you kind of look over my shoulder while I'm steaming this milk. And I think you're going to be helping Michelle.
Yep.
Because we need to get on top of the milk so that everybody can see how we roll the milk in the end, right? Because we're always turning the milk in the container, and you'll see in just a moment, introducing air in the beginning, and then simply rolling and not introducing air towards the end.
Right.
Okay.
So
I'm sure that makes no sense to anybody at this point in time.
I'm going to suggest we take a very quick break so that Carter can set up his shot. We'll be back in a second.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got the camera on top of the milk here, and the arm should have started right about here, but I'm going to pull it out. I'm going to insert the wand, Carter, right at this tip right here. So we're going to actually use the spout as a guide, right?
Okay.
And I don't know if you can see, but we've got this at about a 30-degree angle, right? So if I was straight, I would be like that, but I'm gonna have it at a 30-degree angle at this spout right here.
Yep.
Okay, and I'm gonna just turn on the steam wand, and it takes a moment to get going. And, okay, there we go. And you hear that spitting noise?
Yeah.
That's exactly what we want. That is the introduction of air into the milk. Okay. Now you can see I'm keeping my hand on the milk container so I can feel the temperature. Now I don't know if anybody can notice at home, but the milk has been expanding, right? When you introduce air, the volume of the milk increases. Okay, so now the container is just about getting to the point that I can't hold on to it right here anymore just by the handle. And I'm not going to introduce any more air. I'm just going to roll the milk. And it almost wants to come out of the container, and we're done. I'm just going to verify by touching this. There we go. Now don't go away. I'm going to actually see how we did from a temperature perspective, but I do want to wipe the steam wand right here. It's really essentially you have a damp towel right away to wipe, and push this back, and you'll see that it's going to purge a little bit. And it's going to purge whatever that sort of milky mess that got caught up in there. It's going to purge it right out. Okay, so the milk's at about 150. It would be ideal if it was at 160. Maybe I could have gone a little bit longer. In cafes, of course, we have a clip on the side here. We actually have the thermometer in, and we can be very precise with that.
Right.
At home, I just kind of use my hand to get a sense of it.
Yeah.
So stay with me right here. And I don't know if people can see, but I'm rolling the milk. But see how shiny it looks?
Yeah.
Satiny almost.
Yeah.
That's what we want. We know that those micro bubbles in the milk are basically homogenized together. And I'm going to bring a double shot of espresso. I'm not going to do latte art, but I am just going to pour this free flow. And voila. Now get in tight if you can on that. And I think everybody can see there are no big bubbles on this.
No.
It just has some very shiny looking micro bubbles.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we'll cut it off right there and get the camera back to Michelle.
Okay.
All right.
All right, so this is the drink that I just poured right here. I like it a lot better than the one I did about 10 minutes ago before we got started. So this is the standard that you're going to have to beat, and this, I mean, this looks quite beautiful.
It
right?
does.
It really does.
Now, we want to get the temperature right, of course. Mine was a little under temp, but it's these micro bubbles that are important to us, right? These very fine bubbles, right? So I don't know, did you follow everything that
I think so.
said?
Yeah.
And memorized it?
Of course.
Right.
I've got my notes. I'm ready for the quiz.
Exactly. So have you ever steamed milk on this machine?
Nope.
Never.
Never.
Right? So,
all right. Well, I guess we did like two episodes ago, but not like this.
Oh, no. We did it with using the automatic method, right?
Not like this.
No. This is we're going to intermediate, right?
Moving our way up in the
we're
world.
making a latte.
Yeah.
Cappuccino's a little harder because we got to get a lot more foam. There's a lot more stretching. Got to happen earlier. But here we're just going to focus on getting the micro bubbles, right? So we're manually steaming using a beginner machine, but the Bambino does a great job with it. I mean, that spray that we had coming out from steam, that was a great spray that was coming out from this machine. I mean, it's almost like professional grade. So I'm going to give you the same amount of milk.
Okay.
200 mils. Okay. And you gotta steam it, and the way we're gonna do that is you're gonna pull your steam wand arm out, right? Exactly. Get the tip just below the surface, and when you're ready, hit the steam button.
How's that angle looking?
Oh no, that angle looks good. I would tell you otherwise. You're using the spout as your guide, and you're at about 30 degrees, so I like it.
Here we are.
Hit your button.
Okay, I'm going to come in a little closer.
Yep. Go on. Take a while to get started. It's going to go boom, 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 and then there we go. That's a perfect sound right there.
Excellent.
Now, is your milk rolling?
I think a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it should pick up momentum.
Okay.
All right. Now, you need to pull down a little bit. Not a lot. There you go, because we need those bubbles.
Yep.
Right? And we're going to expand. Tell me how the temperature is. Is it just warm?
All right. It's just warm.
Okay, great. So a few more bubbles, pulled down a little bit, slightly. There you go. That little hissing sound is what you want to hear. A little bit more again. I love your roll. Your roll is great. A little more hissing.
Yep.
Okay.
I think you're getting to that point where the hands are off.
Okay, good. Keep your roll, no more hissing. And it's almost wanting to come out of the pitcher, so go ahead and level out a little bit. There you go.
Okay.
I love your roll. I'm going to test the temperature. Oh, it's getting pretty darn hot. I think you can go ahead and turn it off. Don't remove it yet. All right, now you can remove it. Just set it right there. Set it right here. I'm gonna have you wipe your wand.
Of course.
Yep. Before it gets crusty, basically.
Yeah.
Yep.
By the way, I mean that was quite remarkable.
Thank you.
It was really good.
Thank you.
And go ahead and put that steam arm down so it can purge. I'm going to look at this, and it looks really good. Now, there's a few large bubbles.
Yeah.
That's not unusual. We'll take care of that with a tap.
Okay.
Okay? All right. And I'm just going to go ahead and swirl it like this.
Yeah.
I'm going to show Michelle how satiny it looks, because it looks really good.
Oh, yeah.
Can we see that?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so we're going to get this out here. Can I pour it for you?
Sure.
All right. So I'm just pour it straight in, no latte art. And we want all the foam to go. You got the same volume I did, which is beautiful.
Yeah.
Again, just a few large bubbles that will be taken care of by just doing that.
Where would those come from, like, in the process? Like, what would have made those those large bubbles around?
Well, if we get a little over generous in letting our air in, big bubbles will happen.
Okay.
The more we roll the milk, the more they go away.
Okay.
But I mean, this is a beautiful looking head of foam right there.
It surely is.
Yep, micro bubbles all the way. You got that good 1/2 to 3/4 inch of natural bubbles that a latte should have. I think you might have done better than me.
Oh, wow. I don't believe that, though.
Right.
Thank you.
That just means I'm a good teacher.
Indeed, right? That's the best thing, is I learned from the best here.
Right on.
Carter, I think there are about 270 BIGGBY cafes right now that would love to hire you to steam milk. So, well done.
Right on.
Thank you.
But he's working here.
Yeah, no,
right?
I was thinking Obis.
All right, well, that's really all the time we have for it, but we did enjoy teaching. At least I did.
Oh, I loved it.
I enjoyed teaching you,
I love
Carter.
learning, yeah.
Yeah, and how to do your own milk, how to steam your own milk for a latte. First time ever on this machine, super impressive. All right, we got to get out of here.
We do.
So I'm going to say, when you love the world
will love you right back.
Right on. Hey, thanks for joining us. For future episodes, click the subscribe button. Bean Basics is brought to you by One Big Island in Space.com with 2 G's.